Hi, boys and girls. So this week we're going to be working with our elements of art. We're going to be focusing on form now this week. All right. So something very important to know, excuse me, is that your work is due Friday, which is September the 18th, 2020 by 11:59 p.m. If there is an emergency or something comes up, mom and dad can always let me know if you need that extra little time. But please make sure that they let me know. Okay, let's go ahead and go through as always. I am in work mode, so this means that I should not be in presentation mode. Remember, presentation mode looks like this, okay? We should be in work mode. And remember, let's talk about why. Let's get a quick reminder here. Okay, so this Google Slide presentation is a digital worksheet, okay? So remember, right here, very important, is that you type your name. So this box will be blank, and you must type your name. Okay, let's go through and look at here at what we have to do. Okay, please make sure, right, that this is your own copy and this isn't the main copy of the assignment. If it is your copy, it will have your name. It'll say, for example, on mine, it would say Victoria Suniga form, okay? That would be mine. So make sure yours looks just like that. It'll have your own name. Okay, let's get into this. The element of form. Remember, all of these things that I'm showing you are very important foundations into creating your own artwork. So let's look at the definition. A form is a three-dimensional object which encloses, has volume, right? It has height, width, and length, and depth, Okay, height, width, and depth. So form is a three-dimensional object which encloses volume. It has a height, a width, and a depth. Okay, so it's 3D. Okay, there are two different ways we can define forms. There's geometric versus organic, and open versus closed. Okay, let's keep that in mind. Geometric forms are regular three-dimensional shapes that can be defined mathematically. So remember geometric shapes? Well, there's now also geometric forms, okay? And they can be defined mathematically. They have regular contours, so regular shapes, right? They're not natural. They're regular. If I have a can, and I have a can here in front of me, if you look at me, I'm here on camera down below in the right-hand corner. I have my can of Lysol. If I just have my Lysol right here, this is a geometric form, right? This is a geometric form. It was defined mathematically, and they have regular contours. It looks like a cylinder, okay? Let's go ahead and continue to the next one. Organic forms are three-dimensional objects without regular contours. So the shape of an actual banana, or the shape of any fruit, right? A bug. Those aren't geometric. Those are organic forms. Keep the definition of organic shape in the back of your head, right? And think about how it's kind of similar, not the same, but similar to what the definition of organic form and geometric form is. Let's look here. Now there's open forms. Okay, these are three-dimensional objects with irregular or broken contours. They have negative space within its form. So look at this. This is a sculpture by Robert Indiana, right? And it's Hope. They have these in New York City. These are sculptures that are open, but they're also 3D. They're open because they have negative space. That means there's nothing in there, right? And they have positive space, okay? So these are open forms. Remember, they have negative space, okay? That's the important part right there. Now, closed forms, look at this sculpture, very beautiful, Portrait of George. Okay, closed forms are three-dimensional Objects that have a solid mass, so they're just solid. They don't have negative space within its contours. So they don't have negative space like this sculpture here on the left. Okay, closed, no negative space. Open, negative space. Keep that in mind. All right, let's go to this part of our interactive worksheet. Okay, so we have, identifying forms. Drag and drop the form name cards in the sidebar on top of its matching form. Okay, let's look at this. A sphere. For purposes of us being able to identify these later on, let's look at this. A sphere. This is what a sphere looks like. It's like a circle, but a ball, okay? Think of a ball. All right. Rectangular prism. What is a rectangular prism? Let's see. Let's think about it. Okay. We have two, so let's keep these in mind. Whoa. I'm going to move myself to a different side. There I am. All right. So a rectangular prism. Let's look at the shapes that are in front. I would say that the rectangular prism will be this right here. In front, we have a rectangle. Therefore, this is a rectangular prism. Okay, let's be very careful with this next one. A pyramid. Let's think of the pyramids in Egypt and how they look. I'm going to say this is a pyramid. And I'm going to put it on top. A cube. A cube is made of squares. So a cube will be right here. A cone. This is what a cone is. And it looks just like the bottom of an ice cream cone, right? A cylinder is what I showed you earlier. And it has the circle on top and on the bottom. And this is where we had to be careful. A triangular prism. This is a triangular prism. It has two sides that are triangles, whereas the pyramid, all four sides of it, with the exception of the bottom, are triangles. Okay, so this one only has two, whereas the pyramid has four. Okay, I have sorted them out, so let's remember cube is made of squares. A cone looks like an ice cream cone. It has a circle, one circle on the bottom. A cylinder has two circles. A triangular prism has two triangles. A pyramid has four triangles. And a rectangular prism has rectangular sides. Okay, so that means it has 1, 2, 3, and 4. The other two sides are squares. And we have our sphere. So a sphere like a ball. I'm moving these back so that you are able to do this on your own. If you've watched this video, then you would be able to identify our forms. Okay, let's go ahead and continue. Shape, form. Identification, practice. Look at the shape or form below and answer the questions. Is this a shape or a form? So think about it. Let's do a little bit of review in our head. Let's see. A shape is 2D and a form is 3D. So this means that this is a what? It will be a 3D shape. So it is what? Form. Okay. So you're going to type your answer and leave it in there. And go ahead and continue to the next one. Is it geometric or free form / organic? Now, can this be made mathematically, or is this something that I can probably find kind of like an apple or a banana? Think about it. I'm going to go with geometric, because this is something that can be created mathematically. Okay, and this is the next and last question that it has. If it's a form, is it open or is it closed? Remember, open means there's negative space, and if it's closed, that means there's no negative space. So, but just by making my observations, I'm going to say that it is closed. Okay. So then what I would do is I'd go off to my next slide and I will do the same and fill in my answers. Remember, this is practice. So we're going to do our very best. And when you're all ready and set to go, then you're going to go ahead and, like always, you're going to close your window and you're going to go ahead and turn in your activity. Make sure that you turn it in by the end of the week, which is, again, this very special day, Friday, September 18th, 2020, by 11:59 p.m. Alrighty, boys and girls, that concludes this week's video. Please make sure that you do post your work again on Friday the 18th, as I just mentioned. Please make sure that you also answer your daily exit ticket questions and pay attention to the directions. On some days, I may ask you to go ahead and make sure that you're all caught up on your classwork, and on some days, I may ask you to take a photograph of your progress. So please make sure that you read all the directions, and that, of course, that every week when I post a video lesson, that you make sure to watch the lessons and all the way to the end. Okay, we'll see you next time. Bye.